If you're charged with a federal crime, like I was charged with real estate fraud, you're not automatically arrested. In my case, I had been under investigation for several years. My attorney called me and said they have chosen to indict you. Meet me at the federal courthouse, and I went to the federal courthouse in Salt Lake City, Utah. They took my fingerprints. I pled not guilty at that point, and I was given a pretrial officer. So I had to check in with the pretrial officer and I was allowed to go home. I know that's super privileged, but that's pretty common on a white collar charge. And they determine that based on, are you a danger to yourself or others, or are you a flight risk? And I was none of those things. So I spent several years on pretrial release checking in with the pretrial officer until I planned to go to trial in 2014. And 3 weeks before my trial, I was taken into custody and taken to a county jail, and they decided to do a mental evaluation to determine if I was competent to stand trial. Now, here's the crazy thing. They transferred me to several different facilities out of state. I was sent to Pahrump, Nevada, and then to Washington, Washington State, to Seattle SeaTac, and I was locked up for months. And the whole time I'm locked up, I'm chained and shackled and transferred from facility to facility, left in isolation cells, and then I'm supposed to be okay mentally to stand trial. But luckily I was deemed competent to stand trial, and I was sent back to Utah. And then I pled guilty, and I had 6 months before I would be sentenced. Now, the day that I was sentenced, I was facing 0 to 7 years, and I was given the maximum sentence, which was 7 years. The judge wanted to take me into custody that day. A lot of times on a white collar charge like mine, they'll give you a month or two to self-surrender to the prison. I know that sounds super entitled. I didn't realize that until I got to prison and found out that when it comes to white collar, again, because you're not a danger to yourself or others or a flight risk, a lot of times they'll give you time to get your affairs in order. Well, the judge agreed to give me 8 weeks, and then my husband drove me to Dublin, California, and I walked into a high security federal prison. And I'm going to share more about that on the next video.